Nostalgia is something we've all experienced in our lives. Whether it's waking up early to catch your Saturday morning cartoon, or chasing down the ice cream truck on a hot summer's day. These are the little moments in life that take you back to a simpler time. And the biggest nostalgia for me was playing OG Fortnite with the boys. You didn't have to worry about bills or taxes. The only thing you had to worry about was getting sweated on by an OG John Wick. So in 2023, Fortnite would bring this nostalgia back with the launch of Fortnite OG, a month-long season where you could drop back into the old map, relive old memories, and make new ones. Epic Games saw how much people liked OG, so to capitalize on the success, they would announce that they were bringing it back next year. But if we fast forward to present day, the OG map isn't pulling the same numbers as last time, and a lot of players don't even care anymore.
Like, I really think OG Fortnite is dead.
So the question is, how did OG Fortnite go from such a mega popular game mode with over tens of millions of players to now a mode that can barely crack 100,000? Well, I was able to come up with 5 possible reasons that likely led to OG Fortnite's failure, which starts with the sweats.
Build! Crank!
I'm high.
You see, all the way back in 2017, there was hardly any sweats in the game. I mean, sure, you had the pros like Myth and Ninja, who were pretty nutty at the game, but they weren't too crazy compared to the sweats we gotta deal with nowadays. Because now you got kids who are fresh out of the womb out here boxing you like a fish. Over the past years, this wasn't really a big problem since most of the sweats were busy playing ranked. But when OG Fortnite returned permanently, I don't know what happened, but those sweats came back like flies. I did a live stream when the mode first came out, and it was just downright unplayable. And I was playing casual mode, mind you, casual mode. Even if you're just a chill guy like me, you'll still see sweats everywhere. A good possible reason for why OG Fortnite's player count is so low could be because of the sheer amount of sweats that play the game now. So imagine a veteran Fortnite player who started playing the game day one when it first launched, returning to check out OG. Do you really think he would have a good enough time? What if this year, majority of the audience just had enough of the sweats and didn't even bother checking out OG? I mean, they already got the nostalgic experience the first time, so there's no point in them playing again if they're just gonna get boxed by kids building 5-star hotels.
But what the hell, boy?
Bots have been a staple in the game for over 5 years now. They were first added with the launch of Chapter 2, and ever since then, they've been widely hated by the community. Mainly because it takes away from the overall experience of winning. You see, before bots, you had people celebrating like crazy when they got a dub. But nowadays, you'll see the same players barely crack a smile. This is because majority of Battle Royale lobbies are now just filled with bots. And there's no point in celebrating a win when you know most of your kills are from AI. But when OG Fortnite was brought back, something was different. There was no bots in sight, and the game felt fun again. With over 1 million people playing OG in the first 15 minutes of its launch, it was looking like Fortnite was going to reach another peak player count. Until all of that would get thrown out the window when Epic Games would make the dumb decision to add bots into the mode.
Oh my god, bro.
Oh, hell no, man. What the f, man?
Now, it does make sense why Fortnite would add bots into OG, but y'all could have done so many other alternatives, man. Like, come on. Because now with this decision, you split the community in half. You got one side of people who are happy with bots being added into OG because it makes the game more easier, and you got the other side of people like me who are complaining because bots ruin all of the fun. The funny thing is that most of the people online weren't even complaining about the sweats to begin with. I know y'all literally just heard me ranting about sweats in the last segment, but listen, I'll take sweats over bots any day of the week. I do agree that sweats make OG Fortnite more difficult, but isn't that what makes the game more fun to begin with? If you die by a better player, it makes you want to practice more, put more time into the game until you're skilled enough to actually take down that player. This is literally what Fortnite was like during Chapter 1, and you hardly saw anyone complaining because it was part of the game. Ever since Fortnite started appealing to this new audience where they want to make the Battle Royale experience as easy as possible was when the game started going downhill. Why do you think OG Fortnite had this massive drop off? It's because when all of the noobs launched back into the game and found out that they had to fight real players, they whined and complained, begging Epic Games to bring back the bots, which they did, and now another game mode is ruined. Sure, you have Epic Games saying online that it's a one-to-one recreation of the old map, but that is not the case. they're lying to you. And one of the biggest examples of this is the graphics. If we do a side-by-side comparison from the old graphics and the new ones, you can tell that they are not the same. The new graphics feel more like a remaster of OG than actually being OG, which isn't really a bad thing to be honest, because it makes OG look so much more better, but it's pretty much nothing to how OG players remember the game. Sure, it's still the same map and mechanics, but it's not the thing we grew up on. It was the little details, like the washed out sky and the vibrant lighting, that defined its early days. I understand keeping in the new movement because it's a quality of life change, but come on man, y'all didn't even bother bringing back the other basic stuff. Every other fan-made OG map brought back the OG graphics, brought back the old UI, and disabled sprintling and mantling. If you guys can put in the effort to bring back the OG gun models, then it should be a no-brainer to bring back all the other stuff. However, a good reason that I saw online on why Fortnite didn't bring back the OG graphics is that Fortnite's now on a new engine, and the engine they used to make the first Fortnite map is long gone. Which means that if they were going to go ahead and bring back the OG graphics, they would have to revert all their other new modes back to the old engine. And do you really think they're going to do that? But a solution to this, which I also saw online, is to make a completely separate game just for OG Fortnite. That way, they can go ahead and bring back the old engine, the old graphics, the old UI, without affecting the main Fortnite. And also by doing this, there might even be more players than 2023, since it would be the full OG experience. For this theory, I want you to forget everything we talked about earlier with the bots and the graphics, and put yourself in the shoes of a casual player. They checked out OG Fortnite in 2023, they had a pretty good time playing it, but now when they checked it out this year and returned to it again, their experience was drastically different. While the OG map does feel kind of nostalgic, the overall mode doesn't really have that much to offer. And that's because Epic Games launched the new OG mode with Season 1, which is probably the most boring season in Fortnite history. If you thought that one Primal season was bad, at least that had some unique content, for us to play around with. OG Season 1 had no mythics, no cars, no bosses on the map, which is a good thing for me because I kind of hate that crap. But for a first impression to the average player, they'd find no interest in the mode. You gotta remember that majority of Fortnite's player base doesn't give a damn about the tiny speck of grass that is an OG. What they really care about the most is the gameplay. Is there enough content going around to keep me engaged? So when you put yourself into that mindset, it all starts to make sense now. Why do you think normal Fortnite seasons cram in so many collabs into the game? It's not just because of the money, it's because it then allows Epic Games to add crazy mythics into the game, like Godzilla. You know how many people have imagined terrorizing cities as Godzilla? Well, now you can become him in the new Fortnite season. That's the thing right there that gets people coming back into the game. So when we apply this logic into OG, it basically becomes a ghost town. The only real gimmick in the first Fortnite season was the double pump, and that was a feature only really the sweats used. Even if we fast forward to the next season, the gameplay doesn't really get that much good either. Sure, we got the return of new locations like tilted towers and shifty shafts, but the massive problem still remains of lack of content in the game. Around Season 4 with the meteor crash was when Fortnite started adding all of the fun content, and by the time that season gets brought back, everyone's gonna be tuned out of OG. Maybe the reason OG worked out so well the first time was because that they dropped us right in the middle of the madness. Season 5 had multiple biomes, wacky items, vehicles around the map, you name it. There were so many fun things and side quests to do that kept you coming back to play OG. So instead of starting the new Fortnite OG from the start, why didn't they just do the same thing that worked the first time? They could have still tried, going for the nostalgia route, but instead start with a later season, like Season 4. That way, there's enough content going around, and it's nostalgic enough to keep everyone engaged. However, throwing all of that stuff to the side, what if OG Fortnite doesn't feel that special anymore? When OG Fortnite first dropped in 2023, it was something out of a fairy tale. Everyone you knew was hopping back on the game, the lobbies were packed, tilted towers was pure chaos, and for a brief moment, it felt like 2018 again, compared to the second time around, and that specialness is all gone. Could it be from all the other reasons we listed earlier? Or could it just be the milk has completely run dry?
I just think that that magic that it felt like back in 2023, Epic is going the wrong way with trying to bring that magic back by making it available 24/7.
Part of the reason the first OG worked so well was because it was only available for 1 month. This limited availability sparked a thing known as FOMO, the fear of missing out, which drove millions of players back on the game. We didn't know if or when the OG map would ever come back, so we all dropped into OG to experience this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Compared to this time around, with OG Fortnite now being a permanent game mode, there isn't really a sense of urgency to hop back on. It's now just become another item on the menu for you to choose between. And to add on to that, people may just be tired of all nostalgia in general. If the recent flops in the movie industry have said anything, the general audience doesn't care about cheap multiverse cameos or recycled ideas that rely on past success. They just want to see good movies again, which is the same thing that could be applied for OG. Maybe people are over this whole nostalgia craze and would rather just play something else. Like, sure, the legendary Tilted Towers is back, but we've already seen it 50 other times. So many times, in fact, that every time they bring it back, it feels like they're pressing an emergency button, like a last resort, to get people back into the game. And it seems like people have caught on, and the magic is starting to wear off. Perhaps this goes to show that too much nostalgia could be a backfire, and it's time for Epic Games to move on with themselves. Stop trying to relive the past and focus on making the original game great again. It's clearly worked in the past with the whole Fortnite storyline, so do it again. If you guys stop trying to become this ultimate metaverse and bring back all of the fun stuff that made Fortnite Fortnite, everyone will forget about wanting OG back, and instead will want to play the normal Fortnite experience. You could also still have OG Fortnite around, but do the same thing that worked the first time. Go back to it being a limited time mode and bring it back for 1 month every single year. That way, you won't oversaturate the experience and you'll still be able to keep the magic alive.